And next time I saw her, she was well on the pathway to success. I don't know how her story has finally ended, but this truly was by attending the Wings Conference. I see Margaret in the back going, she's doing cool, okay. Well, it truly was the beginning of a new life for her. And I applaud you all for being here. You are giving a great gift to yourselves. You are giving a great gift to your families. I hope you have a productive, wonderful day here. And with that, I take a couple of mushball questions if anybody's got any. Hi, Donna. Nobody's had any questions?
I'd just like to say that you're very inspiring as a speaker and for being here. It's really awesome.
Well, it's easy to be inspired by a whole room full of women who are saying to themselves, I can make a difference, I can be better than I am, and I can reach down to my daughters and my sons, and I can provide a better life for them. And that's really what you're doing today. And making sure that as you start your new lives today with a commitment to go on to school, to go out into the job market, that you go the distance. Thank you. Anybody else got anything? Yes, ma'am.
Betsy, will there be a funding this coming biennium for the Oregon Commission or Commission of Women?
I think so. The commissions, let me just fill everybody in so that you know the context that the question comes in. The legislature, over the years, created a number of commissions. They created the Commission on Women, they created the Commission on Asian Affairs, Black Affairs, Hispanic Affairs, and they, first of all, never really funded them. They, second of all, never really gave them a job. And then they beat them up for not doing the job they didn't get paid to do. And it was pretty disheartening. The Hispanic Commission had all sorts of problems. They had a manager who actually absconded with some of the resources of the commission, and that was dealt with in the courts. But the commissions have really, really struggled. I am pleased to say that the Commission for Women did the best in terms of finding their own outside funding, because they went out to women all over the state and said, does it not have value to you to have a voice for women inside state government? And women in Oregon responded by sticking checks in envelopes, which was a very big deal. But the legislature has been fairly parsimonious with funding for the commissions. They now are all housed, by action that we took last session, inside the Bureau of Labor and Industries, where we thought that they could get more attention and perhaps a clearer pathway to funding. I know there'll be a request to fund them. I'm hoping that the commissions can actually take the call to action and become hard, policy-driven organizing points to come into the legislature and share with legislators a women's agenda for the state of Oregon, or a Black agenda, or a Hispanic agenda, and that their policy advice is sought out by legislators. It has to be a two-way street. They have to have enough value that the legislature says, we need to fund these guys because they help inform our decision-making. So I think that there will be funding. It may not be magnificent, because I think we're going to have a tough legislative session. Our revenues are flat. The economic prognosticators are saying that we're not going to come out of what they're now actually calling a recession until the latter part of 2009. Driving up from Scappoose this morning, I heard the somewhat shocking news, not somewhat, the very shocking news, that the government is going to step in and take over Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and put them in a conservatorship and toss out their boards and their management and actually try to protect the asset from eroding anymore. So we are far from out of the woods economically. All the more reason why you should be here trying to pursue those pathways into the job market. And again, for many of you, a four-year degree is a wonderful thing and is out there as a goal. But for many of you, a two-year degree or a terminal certificate, so you can go directly into the workplace in some of the jobs that are just crying out for capable people. That may be what you end up doing in order to get yourself into the job market to begin to generate the revenues in some arguably pretty economically tough times. And when you combine the price of fuel, the price of food, just the act of daily living, it's expensive out there and it's scary out there. Yes, sir?
What job fields are crying out for more?
Oh, clearly, allied healthcare professions, some of the vocational technical tracks that I think are here at the college. I can't drive any place in my legislative district that I don't see signs saying welders, commercial drivers wanted. But in the allied health care, there is a huge need, starting with nursing and all the way down through medical technicians, medical transcriptionists. When you think about the number of us, and there are many of us in the room, that are the dreaded baby boomers, and we are all reaching a certain age more quickly than I want to admit, and we are going to be out needing services that are centered largely around health care. I think that if I were sitting where some of you are sitting today, that is certainly all of the allied health care fields are someplace that I would look. And as if I recall the radio correctly, again coming up here, they were talking about job losses in this country in manufacturing and some of the other sectors, but the two where they grew were education and healthcare. So I would clearly be looking in the healthcare arena if I were thinking about, what could I get a degree or a certificate that would make me eligible for the workplace immediately. Donna, you had a question.
Thank you. What course would one follow if one wanted to be a school board chair or a state representative or something like that?
Well, let me start by not answering your question. Let me start by just setting a framework again. I think many of us lose track of how many life-altering decisions are made for Oregonians and Americans at the local level. School boards have enormous power. Courts, county commissions, planning commissions. And really is all you need to get involved in any of those is just showing up. I see your Obama shirt on. For many people, the pathway into careers of public service has been through volunteering on a campaign. And right now, regardless of your political affiliation, campaigns at all levels of government are hunting for people to volunteer. Whether it's working on ballot measures, and you just need to drive into Astoria, as I did this morning, to know that there's some heated debate around ballot measures. But whether it's ballot measures or candidates at all levels, for many people, their portal of entry is through a campaign. I remember being with my mother at the Deschutes County Fair when she manned one of the booths there. And as you know from your service with the Clatsop County Democrats, there are groups that gather around, there are Clatsop County Republicans, Clatsop County Democrats, I'm sure there are Clatsop County Libertarians and Greens, but from lots and lots of people, the first portal is volunteering at some level there until you kind of get the lingo and get the understanding of what's going on. Demonstrate your leadership skills, and the next thing you know, somebody's saying, why don't you run for the school board? You got some good ideas. And there you are. So that's clearly one of the pathways. The other is through associations, and I'll come back to Juanita again. The National Association for the Mentally Ill, NAMI, is a huge organization, national organization, with local chapters. But those people draw around each other because they want to see funding or improvement in the lives of others who suffer from mental illness. So there are associations as well, whether it's associations dealing with affordable housing or associations dealing with issues around kids. Mostly it's just raise your hand and say, I see a problem, I think I can be part of the solution, where do I sign up to help? And that really is the entry point for so many folks. And every one of you can pursue that. I would urge you right now to focus on your education and focus on the opportunities to get yourselves into the workforce. But once you're established, once you've got that stable job that allows everything else good to flow from it, maybe the other message you'll take away from today is every single person can make a difference.